I was in an insane asylum for a crime I didn't commit. All the police said that I kidnapped those puppies, but they only needed better homes. It's not my fault I love puppies. I've always loved puppies. They were some of the only things that I could look at and feel genuine happiness while I was beaten and thrown between orphanages as a kid. I love them so much, I brought a puppy here with me. His name is Reficule. Now I live here with misbehaved kids in this hospital that's located far away from my home, all the way in the country. I got used to the countryside pretty quick, although I'm not allowed outside much. One night, I woke up on the freezing cold, hard stone floor thinking, I should go back to sleep. The lights aren't on yet, but I don't think I can fall back asleep. A stone floor is not that comfortable. You might ask, why don't I just sleep on the nice comfy bed above me? Well, I have nice, thick, curly orange hair, and I want to keep it that way. Okay, I'll explain. My best friend Millie sleeps on her bed, and her hair used to be thick, brownish blonde, but then she slept on the hospital beds, and the pillows had turned her hair thin, in a blue-gray color. I'd prefer to keep my hair nice, thank you very much. I think I'm the only one here, or at least in this hallway, that's smart enough to sleep on the floor because of this. By the way, Millie was sent here because she broke into an electrical power station, but she didn't give me much detail on that. When I met her, I knew we'd be partners in crime forever. What are you doing? A voice asked from on the bed. I jumped. Oh, Millie, it's just you, I replied with relief. Why are you up so early? Millie asked. There was a spider on me, I replied in a huff. Millie sprang to the top of her bed, trying to make as little noise as possible. Millie is incredibly afraid of spiders, but on the other hand, I love them. It's fine now, I put it in a jar. I tried to calm her down. I pointed to the cookie jar I put it in. She peeped her head down to look at me. Her pastel, dull gray eyes geared their vision toward me, as though waiting for me to tell her I was kidding. A jar? Where did you get a jar from? She questioned me curiously while staring at the fog jar with the big spider in it. Yeah, a jar. I found one in the kitchen when I went to get a midnight snack, I proudly replied. Midnight snack? What's wrong with you? You know you're not allowed to do that, right? If they caught you, then you would be sent to the basement. Besides, I like having you sleep here on the floor. You stop me from sleepwalking because I always trip on you. I need you, she said, trying not to yell too loud. All of a sudden, the lights turned on. I draped the blanket over my head as fast as I could to make it seem like I was sleeping. I roused and stretched. I faked a yawn just in case. I'm so used to fake waking up, it's incredible. I then felt a sharp pain in my back. I guess I thought it was because I hadn't taken my medication, but when I turned, I saw the guard. We could hear you, you know, the guard said, hitting me in the back again with a metal pole. Get up, and don't act like you were asleep. Jeremy wants to see you, and you too. You've done this too many times. I sighed. Millie and I walked down the long hall full of hundreds of cells that looked so rusted that, if touched, they would break. The people in them didn't look like they were in good condition either. They looked unfed and insane. This is what having no contact with the outside world can do to you. What do you think he's gonna do with us? I managed to say while tearing up a little. I don't know, but I hope it's not too extreme, she said, fumbling on her words, yet still trying to calm me down. Of course it didn't at all. I felt a shiver run down my back as I closed my eyes and wished for this all to be over. When I opened my eyes, I was sitting right across from Jeremy's desk. He looked frustrated and disappointed at the same time. I think he knew that this was going to happen one day, but he didn't want to admit it. Let's review. Every night, you wake up way earlier than the others, and you think we can't hear you? You wake everyone up. Do you think your conversations are more important than my sleep? He snarled. He paused. You keep acting like you run this hospital, but you don't. I've given you both too many second chances. You're done. Tomorrow, you will be sent to the basement." Millie and I gasped. The basement was a place where all the bad kids go. They say once you go there, you get brainwashed and turned into one of the guards. Of course, I didn't believe this guard thing, but up until this moment, I was starting to consider it. I didn't want to believe it. At least I'll still be with Millie. Wait, will I? He sent us out of the office and told us to get our things and be prepared for tomorrow. That's when I gave up most of my hope. "I'm done," Millie whispered. "I don't want to work for that guy anymore. Let's sneak out at night. I don't care what happens. I can't deal with this anymore." "Woo! Woo!" I exclaimed in my excitement, trying not to be too loud. "Why are you so excited?" a guard asked angrily while bonking me on the head with a metal pole. I'm just so excited to go to the basement," I replied when I walked up to Millie's bed. The guard watched us with a cold stare as we packed what small amount of things we had and headed to bed. At about 4 a.m, when the guards switched shifts, we only had a few minutes to grab our stuff and run. We ran out of there so fast, you couldn't even see us. At least that's how it felt. We ran for what felt like forever. The halls were so long and dark, it gave me the chills. Then we hit a door. I smacked my noggin right on the door frame. Above the door was a sign. I squinted my eyes to try to read the word exit in big red letters. But the door was locked. As my eyes grew accustomed to the dark, I took Reficule out and used his tail to break the rusted door to pieces. "I guess that crowbar of yours came in handy this time, huh?" Millie giggled. "Crowbar?" I asked in a sly tone. "Sorry, dog. I meant dog," she replied, making a "don't hit me with your dog" face. We ran out of the broken shambles that we used to call a door, sprinted through the tall, wet grass. That was the first and last time I had ever felt grass. I didn't have shoes on, and the grass felt so good between my toes. I wanted to lay down in it, but there was no time for that. I peered round to see if anyone was still chasing us, but there was no one there. Millie and I decided to find a place to rest. We stopped by an old, huge tree. As I was catching my breath, Millie opened her mouth. "Can you believe it? We've escaped! I finally feel so free." Millie looked back to see that I was already asleep. "At least you don't have to sleep on the cold stone floors," she giggled. I felt her laid down next to me. I was right. It did feel nice to sleep on the grass. When I woke up, I was very confused. Millie was carrying me on her shoulders. "What's going on, Millie?" I stuttered. I then looked around to see we were running to a small town about 12 meters ahead. "Thank God you're awake," she sighed. "The guards are after us again. They found us right when I woke up, so I took you and ran." Suddenly, I felt an arm grab my shoulder and pull me back. I turned and saw who grabbed me. It was Jeremy. But how did he find us? We were at least 15 houses away from the asylum. "Fawn!" Millie yelled back, grabbing my arm, but I saw Jeremy latch his hand onto Millie's hair. Then I quickly remembered. Reficule. I pulled Reficule from out of the back of my dress and hit him in the kneecap with it. I still don't know how they didn't steal my dog away from me before, but it seems like it didn't do anything to him. He didn't even flinch. That's when I realized something was wrong. I've hit him in the knee multiple times before. Each time, he always crumbles. Maybe he was getting stronger. No, he had always had a weak spot on his knee. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath out of fright. When I opened my eyes, I saw the white room. The white room was covered in padding and had an iron door in the corner. All white. That's when the memories flowed back to me. It was all a dream, and I was in a white room. There are no clocks, and I've been counting the days from the little bit of light that peers into my room from the small window above. I was in the asylum for another 11 years after the incident. I now sit here in my room, alone, staring down at my computer screen, reflecting on where I have come from in life. I have been out of the asylum for 11 years now, and I still struggle with PTSD, among other mental illnesses. And I have some severe trust issues after what happened to me in the orphanages. Every orphanage needs to be safe to make orphans feel welcome and loved. Let's raise awareness about these places, because everyone deserves not only a house, but a home.